Hello, everyone. I just wanted to pop in real quick. By the way, this is another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host, Jennifer, but really, this is not a full episode. I wanted to come on and let you guys know there's not a video today, and there's not going to be a members video tomorrow because there's just a lot going on around the house. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to run out the door right now. So I wanted to pop on and let you know there's not a video for today, and there's not going to be a members video for tomorrow, and I do apologize for that. Um, there's a lot of last minute things that has popped up for Halloween. For example, we did not buy Little Man a costume until last night because he kept flip flopping what he wanted to be. He thought he wanted to be Mario. He thought he wanted to be um, a judge, like a legal judge, like with the gown, because someone gifted him on this channel. They gifted him some money, and he bought himself a judge's gavel. So he because he's always wanted one. I don't know. He's weird. A gavel. And so he bought himself a gavel from Amazon. He thought he wanted to be a judge. I was like, okay, well that's easy because I can buy him like a robe for like graduation or something, which is readily available on Amazon. And no, he changed his mind again and again. And so last night, he also needed pajamas for pajama day because it's Spirit Week at school this week. He doesn't wear pajamas. He doesn't like pajamas, so he doesn't have pajamas. He wears, a t-shirt to bed. So it's he's just unique. Okay, so we had to run last night. This is the first time ever in life he wanted to participate in Spirit Week. Usually he does not want to participate. He's not interested. He doesn't want to do anything weird. He might want to wear a hat for Hat Day, but they didn't do Hat Day this week. And so this week he's like, well, can I do Mismatch Day? And I was like, well, yeah. His clothes were too big for Mismatch Day, so he ended up just with mismatched socks, but he was happy. He wanted, he did not ask to join the sports jersey thing, but we have sports jerseys that he could have wore. He chose not to. Um, yesterday was, I think yesterday was mismatch day. Today was pajama day. He wanted pajama day, so we had to go take him to Target and got him some pajamas for like $8. And while we were there, Mr. Cinema's like, okay, let's look at the costumes. And he picked out the cutest little Air Force outfit because the air show was such a big deal to him when he saw the Air Force outfit. Even a costume that had light up, like, functions to it, he wanted to be an Air Force guy. So he's so cute. It even came with dog tags. So that's what he's going to be for Halloween. And then we haven't gotten pumpkins yet. So tonight is also trunk or treat at his school. So we're gonna take him where he's gonna wear his costume. We're gonna let him get candy. He's gonna trunk or treat. And if you don't know what trunk or treat is, because for a long time I didn't know what trunk or treat is, because trunk or treat was not really popular where I grew up. People park their cars, they decorate their cars, they dress up in a parking lot, and you go car to car and they pass out candy. And it's kind of a cool event. And I think last year's the first time I've ever went to a trunk or treat. And so we're doing that again this year, which is tonight. So I got to figure out dinner, get him dressed in a costume, take him to go trunk or treat, and get the kids pumpkins. It's going to be a crazy day. So we have to start getting our butts moving as soon as he gets home from school at 4. Hopefully Mr. Cinnamon is home from work at 4. And then we can just go, 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 go. And then tomorrow, Juju has an event she's going to. Her friend is trying to be a photographer. They're both 17. And her friend got hired for an event at a Halloween thing. It's like I think it's a haunted house attraction thing. And the girl got hired to take photos of the Halloween events. And they also get to go into the events. And so Juju's gonna go spend the night at her friend's house and do all that, which Juju never spends the night at anybody's house. I think the last time she spent the night at anybody's house other than a relative was when she was in the 6th grade. She's a senior. So, yeah, very exciting. And so while she's gone doing that, because she's going to be this girl's assistant, basically because the girl's terrified and she wants her friend there with her to keep her company. So tomorrow while they're doing that, we're going to spend quality time with little man. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We're going to find some trouble to get into. It's going to be a really busy weekend. There's a lot going on, and especially tonight. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to not make videos, even though I'm making a video to tell you that I'm not making videos. Just to let you guys know what's happening. Do you guys see my pumpkin I made for National Pumpkin Day? Isn't this cute? So, yeah, I made this with the Spun Colors yarn. I'll show you guys that again on Monday. I've been working on a lot of little things. I designed a little kid hat. I'll show you that on Monday. I'm kind of excited. I'm working on a shawl because I'm still going through that bucket down there. We're making progress though. Yeah, so what you guys up to this weekend? It's gonna be a busy weekend, but no regrets. I like having fun with the kids, and I usually like to do something special for Halloween dinner. I think Halloween is Monday, so yeah, I gotta figure that out. I like doing something special. Before we realized we can't have gluten, we would go up to Sonic, because Sonic does 50-cent corn dogs. We would buy a bunch of 50-cent corn dogs, so that, because Halloween is very hectic. The kids are usually in school that day, so they get home from school. Little man gets home at 4. Trick-or-treating starts at like 6, so I have 2 hours to feed everyone, get him ready and dressed, get the last minute setup for trick-or-treat, because you guys seen my Halloween decorations. That's not all we do for Halloween night. Halloween night, we set up smoke machines, we set up black lights, we set up lasers, we set up a projector that usually has scary movies, or at least Halloween themed movies, on the garage. We set up a candy table. So Mr. Cinnamon has a chute, and we started the candy chute for COVID, but the kids really like it. It is a long PVC pipe that lights up, and we set it up on the table, and the kids come and put their bucket or their bags in front of the chute, and we shoot the candy down the 6-foot PVC pipe that lights up. So, yeah, there's a lot to do on Halloween day or Halloween night so usually I do like something fast or quick like that, but because we can't eat gluten anymore, I'm going to have to figure something else out. However, we very recently discovered, like last week, discovered that Taco Bell finally released a gluten menu, an allergy menu, if you will, because before they were like, oh, nothing's safe. So we stayed away from Taco Bell. We can have their taco supremes and their tacos, and I think 1 or 2 other things we can have that does not contain gluten. There's always a risk of cross-contamination, but at least I know I could go buy a box of tacos and we can have tacos. And so I could always do that. I don't really want to. Taco Bell's okay. It feels good to be able to finally have something that's fast food, like if we're out on the road or something, like we know we can go get tacos now, instead of trying to find a gluten-friendly restaurant, which is a pain in the neck when you're traveling. And Taco Bell's a little bit cheaper than like going to an actual Mexican restaurant. Doesn't taste as good, but so yeah, that's an option. Or I could always throw something in the crock pot, but crock pot meals are usually sit down, you have to eat, whereas tacos are like, eat on the go. I can always make tacos. I make a taco bar. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something fun. I used to also make pancit, which is a Filipino dish. I used to make pancit, and that we called it worms. And it's so delicious, but again, there's a lot of gluten-containing ingredients that go into pancit. I could make it gluten-free. I absolutely can. I might do that. That sounds so good. Everybody in the family loves pancit. So, yeah, that's what's going on. That is what is happening in my neck of the woods. So, I think that is all the information that I have to give to you today, but I wanted to stop in and let you guys know what's happening. Because, I got 8 million things on my brain. I've barely been crocheting this week. Like I said, I made little things, but I haven't really had time. I knit a little bit. I crocheted a little bit, but this week it's been kind of hectic. There's a lot going on, and I there's some requests that I have to fulfill for people, and like there's just not that it's bad. It's just busy. And so I just feel like I'm running around like a chicken with their head cut off. Like I can't find the way, and I am just So I hope you have a fantastic and safe weekend. Let me know, do you celebrate Halloween #1 or any other holiday around now? Because Halloween is one holiday. Devil's Night is the night before Halloween, which is an actual started in Detroit as people used to burn empty buildings down. And Devil's Night actually used to be a scary thing growing up in Detroit because it was a big deal in the 80s. And then after Halloween is Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead. But also, after Halloween is a Catholic holiday, which if you're not Catholic, you don't know that, is All Souls Day. So let me know what you're celebrating, or if you're not celebrating, let me know what you do for those holidays. I would like to know, do you pass out candy, or are you the person with their porch lights turned off and you don't pass out candy? Are you the person that goes out and tricks people and throws eggs on their house? Don't do that. That's not nice. What I'm going to be doing for Halloween, aside from all the things I told you, setting up and getting everything ready, is I'm the one who takes little man trick-or-treating. I get him dressed. I make sure everybody's got food on the table. I help Mr. Cinnamon with setting up stuff. And then me and me alone. I've always been the one that takes the kids trick-or-treating by myself. Mr. Cinnamon stays home and passes out candy. Although last year, he actually did trick-or-treat with me a little bit while Juju passed out candy, which he didn't like doing that because he loves interacting with all the children. He loves passing out candy. He loves Halloween. So I don't know if he's going to go with me this year, but it's me and Little Man. And Little Man is funny because he's not one of those kids that goes every house in the neighborhood. And he goes to every house on our street, both ends, because our street is split. And then usually he wants to come home because he wants to dig into his candy. He doesn't care how much he gets. He just wants to eat it right now. So he's pretty easy trick-or-treating. With the 3 girls, my daughter and both my nieces, I would take them trick-or-treating, and they wanted to do every house in the neighborhood. And the more they filled their bags, the happier they were. Little Man is not like that. It is the one solitary thing that he has ever been easier with than his sister, because he's more difficult with every other aspect. But trick-or-treating, he's easy. So I put on my walking shoes, because our neighborhood, where we live, we have a lot of uneven land. So if you've ever seen pictures from the front of my house, the neighbor's house is about... It's the equivalent of his basement is level with my first floor, and then his first floor is level with maybe my second floor or my roof, because he's really off the ground. So the ground is uneven and does this a lot. So I have to put on my good walking shoes, or else my knees and my back kill me. But there's a lot of up and down and hilly areas. So I'm very grateful that Little Man just wants to do minimal trick-or-treating, and then we can come home and we can watch all the kids trick-or-treat. And Little Man likes sitting in the driveway with his candy, and yes, I do check it before he digs in. And he sits in the driveway, usually with a blanket, and he watches whatever is on the projector on the garage. So he's watching Halloween movies, eating candy, and watching all the kids come. And it is the coolest memory. It is the coolest memory for me to know that my kids have that. Because when I was little, I had really good memories of trick-or-treating. Like I said, I grew up in a really bad neighborhood. first of all, nobody passed out candy. And second of all, it wasn't the kind of neighborhood you went walking around in after dark. So we went to what we called the rich neighborhood. We went to the city called Livonia. And being as though where I grew up, Livonia, they were rich to me. They were so rich. I couldn't believe it. They were passing out full size candy bars, you know? And so we would go to that neighborhood because my dad had a couple of friends that lived over there that he worked with, um, and partied with. And so we would go over there, and this one guy, Brian, he would do, I mean, what we do is child's play compared to what he would do for Halloween. He would open up his garage and set up scenes in there as if it was a haunted house. He had an electric chair. He had two-way mirrors. He had coffins, like actual full coffins, and then he had coffins that he built. He had like actual skeletons. He actually really was he took it to the creepy side. He had a baby skeleton. So it was an actual skeleton from a baby that had died. He was very morbid. Nicest guy in the world, but he was very morbid. And we would all be scare actors when we got teenagers in his garage. He put me in a electric chair and put a metal mask on me that he made out of a coffee can, like an aluminum coffee can. So he made the mask and he put it on my face, and I was in the electric chair and, you know, getting electrocuted. He didn't like the job that I did, so he actually swapped me out for someone else because I was timid back then. And he put actual chains around my wrist, and like it hurt. So, and then I remember that Halloween specifically, a guy who was my dad's friend who later became my uncle, locked me in a coffin. He locked me in a coffin, and I think I was like 11 or 12. Probably about 12. And from that moment on, I have had claustrophobia really bad because I got locked in a coffin. But I got out of the coffin. Like, he let me out after I screamed. I was screaming, kicking, and trying to get out. And he's outside laughing. And I got out of the coffin. And I screamed, ow, ow, ow. And he let me out because he thought I was hurt. And I got out and I kicked him as hard as I could in the shin. And then I got in trouble because my dad's like, why'd you kick him? He just locked your daughter in a coffin. But we used to love trick-or-treating in that neighborhood when we were younger than that. Because once I hit 11, my mom said I was too big and I wasn't allowed to trick-or-treat anymore. I let my kids trick-or-treat till they're done trick-or-treating because for me, it is so much better for the teenagers to be trick-or-treating than to be out partying and getting into trouble and possibly hurting themselves or someone else. So I don't skimp on, like, if I see a 16-year-old or a 6-foot person trick-or-treating, they get candy regardless. That's just my theory. I'd rather have the kids trick-or-treating and having good, wholesome fun than out there partying and getting into trouble and all kinds of stuff, you know? So, that's my theory. But, yeah, I always loved trick-or-treating. And my mom, once again, my mom took me and my 2 sisters trick-or-treating. She was the one that did it all just like I do, while the men stayed and passed out candy at Brian's house. So, I don't know. Good times. Good times. I remember the first year the girls were actually able to go trick-or-treating, and it was the year before they moved away from here. They went back. Their mother got an apartment, and they went and lived in this apartment. Well, actually, no, it was the trailer first and then the apartment. Regardless, they moved out of my house. It was the last year I took the 3 of them together, and it was the last year that they trick-or-treated. So they were old enough. They were all teenage-ish years. I don't remember exactly how old they were. It was a couple years ago, but they're like, can we go out on our own? I was like, and little man was a baby. He was a baby. So I had little man, I think, in a carrier on my chest. And the 3 girls wanted to go further than I could go. Because I believe, yeah, it had to have been 7 years ago. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. All the memories are blurring into each other. They asked if they could go trick-or-treating together, and I was like, yeah, just, I gave one of them a phone so I could track where they were in the neighborhood. Check in with me if you're going to be gone longer than such and such time. Only go on this street and that street. And they went out. They had such a good time. They had so much fun, just the three of them. Trick-or-treating, laughing, giggling. Looking at boys that they had crushes on. Oh my god, I saw so-and-so. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to let you go now that I've rambled way longer than I anticipated. I was going to stop the video 5 minutes. Now we made it to 20 minutes. I'm going to let you go. Once again, I hope you have a fun and safe weekend, and I will see you Monday. Bye, guys.